I've got some I've got a frog in my throat. um, got a bit of surprising news to point out. Happened slightly sooner than I expected, but this is fine. This will bring about the inevitable removal of this channel as they perpetually try to skirt the rules. The Dr. Dino channel that is totally according to Kent, not a first party channel, but it obviously is. If it's a community, do we have any community posts? Probably not. Wow, what the actual fuck? Whoa, Joseph's been on shit. Oh man, I just now discovered this. I clicked that as a joke. Anyway, what I was saying was the channel has reached over 1,000 subscribers, so they are able to monetize, and I'm sure they will. Probably get them sweet super chats coming in because that's what they want. Not that they didn't already have access to those at like 500 subs, but still. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out and give a little preamble before people pop in. That being said, we're going to go on and hit Song of Solomon 1, The Right Kind of Love. I can only imagine where this is going to go. So, yeah, all we can do is dive in. Looks like everything's good on my end. Let's go.
Ken Hovind here in the crew at Dinosaur Adventureland, Lenox, Alabama. What is it? November 24th. Getting close to Thanksgiving. Come on, join us. Tonight we're going to start a new series on the Song of Solomon. We've got Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and then Song of Solomon. So we'll have a series of all Solomon's teachings here when we're done. The Right Kind of Love. Song of Solomon, Chapter 1. Here we are. We're on a bunch of channels. We're on Facebook, keeps growing, 205,000. Rumble, 10,000. Twitter, or X, let's see, our own app, KentHovind.tv, Instagram, TikTok. Sign up for all of them. And if they take us off of one, you get them on the other. Thank you, Atheist.
Sorry, I had a hot mic there. I was trying to readjust my headset and the like. Not that you missed anything important from Kent.
For working so hard to get my YouTube channel shut down 5 times. It made it spread out even more, didn't it? Now, please, everybody post these on.
He needs his wingman to approve. Joseph's the yes man. Gotta say yes to everything, Mr. Hovind. And yeah, we're not helping you spread anything, Kent. You're a disease that does a perfectly fine job of spreading its own self to those who don't take the precautions of actually understanding reality. And you're gonna say, or you're saying in the middle of saying that other people upload your stuff, which is technically true, but you also have your own first party channel run by Joseph again. I have to stress this every time because you're lying. All right? All the Hovindites watching, y'all understand that, right? He's lying. He knows this exists. There's no way he doesn't unless he's seriously that stupid, that inept. And Joseph is himself lying to him, even lying by omission. That's why I stress this, because it's the tiniest of things, but it shows that he doesn't give a fuck. And with this type of person, or you should know with this type of person, they will sure as hell lie about big things as much as they will little things. It isn't like it's it matters to them.
YouTube, on your YouTube channel, okay? Okay, here we go. Let's see.
And don't worry, Kent. I'll put all your stuff on YouTube with my annotations and comments and comedy. Because I make your shit watchable. People don't come here to watch you. They come here to watch me riff on you. But hey, at least Dino Lamp is powered up again. Good to see you, mate. Everyone wave to the Dino Lamp. Maybe we'll get lucky and see the subscribe button again. I missed that pixelated subscribe button. I complained it was getting boring, and then he doesn't have it for a couple of months, and I'm like, hey, where's the subscribe button? I miss it.
November the 24th, Song of Solomon, Chapter 1. A couple days is Thanksgiving. Come join us. We're having lots of people come for Thanksgiving. I think our cabins are full. If you want to help us finish some more spots, we got to finish the.
Hey, someone from Boston. Hey, Glix 117. Are you like the F-117 Nighthawk? Are you stealth but polyagonal? I don't know. God, I'm just having an ADD moment here. Yeah, hey, glad to have you. Hope you enjoy.
Apartments in the Ark. Need a bunch of money for that. If you want to help with that, come join us for Christmas. We have all kinds of people come here from all over the world.
Oh yeah, everyone's been talking about getting the Song of Solomon for that very reason. It gets awfully sexual. My ex had said I would probably enjoy that because it gets into it. I'm like, no, I don't care about the Bible. What part of that could she not understand? Um, I misspelled right. Yeah, I type it quick and I can't actually see the dang keyboard. I'll fix that here in a second. Anyway, now I look like more of an idiot than I already am. Anyway, Song of Solomon and the sexuality and like Kent's just gonna be a crude fucker about it, like he always is.
84 countries now, and all 50 states. Come on down. I told the girls that I was giving them the tour today, brother. When I was 12 years old, I memorized the capitals of every country in the world. I still know them. Pick a country, RJ. Pick a country. I'll tell you the capital. Yeah. Why? Yemen starts
You're fucking stupid, Kent.
with capital Y. Pick another one, Joseph. That's right. Correct. Okay. Help us stay open for free. We don't charge anything, never have, because we have people support our ministry to get the gospel out. Okay. Join our 777 club, connect all those black dots, and it'll do something for you. You get the prize. Want to be a member?
Hey, if anyone refreshes and can tell me that it fixed the spelling of right, let me know, because I did toggle that, and I'm wondering, if it did or didn't do anything. Or don't. You don't have to. I don't know. I'm just being silly. But since Zoomy made me aware of it, I had to fix it, and luckily Restream actually allows me to.
Call 855 Big Dino extension 1. That would be you, Joy, right? You get extension 1? Okay, good. Or email Dr. Dino secretary at gmail.com. drdino.com. Open for 9.7 years now. Okay, 6,000 years ago, according to the Bible, God made everything.
Oh, snap. How did I not recognize that as a Guild Wars 2 name? Oh, man, I totally should have got that. Real talk, I have an Asura. I have at least one character of every race. I haven't gone through personal story. And I like the Asura a lot, but for some reason I never actually get too involved with them. You know how it is. There's not too much involved with them. And luckily the new expansion, involves the Inquest more, which is pretty freaking awesome. But outside of adoring Timey and thinking the Asura are just pretty damn neat, I know Glix and stuff, but yeah. I say I know Glix and stuff. It's like, there it is right there. It's like it suddenly clicks about Glix and Snaff and all them. Man, but like I'm never super involved. So maybe if I go through the Asura story, it'll cement some of the characters again in my head. God, yeah, I mostly do PVE. So in fact, pretty much exclusively do PVE. I've barely even done fractals. I stopped playing during the fractal event, so that sucked. Thanks a lot, former friend who occupied all my damn time. Yeah, I just, yeah, God. Played some Guild Wars earlier, working on the Ascalon events for the weekly. But anyway, the regular audience only cares a tiny bit about Guild Wars. Most of us, are here for the Hovind, so we're doing it to it. And I still look like nowhere near as much of an idiot as Kinty Boy. This is true. Fun fact, there was a point for a year and a half. For some reason, I accidentally had 2 A's in the banner image on my own website. A year and a half, and no one noticed it. It was big as shit. There was no way you could miss it, and yet no one told me about it, so go figure. I mistype stuff all the time, and me being half blind makes it even worse.
Everything in 6 days. Evolution is the dumbest idea ever. And then there was a big flood 4,400 years ago.
Oh yeah,
Hovind built a
Hovind's
big boat and saved everybody on board. We cover all that.
Hovind's talking about this shit again. Come on, dude.
Several of my video series. Then God called a guy named Abram to come out of his land about 2,000 years before Christ, and it's to give him a special land, the land of Israel, the promised land. He promised it to Abraham. So there's that arrow right in here from Abraham to Daniel. I'm going to blow that up a little bit. From Abraham to Daniel. Genesis covers about 2,500 years of history, all the way up to Moses, really. Then the book of Exodus, is when they're down in Egypt and they exit, they go out. The book of Exodus is the story of them leaving. Moses, so you got Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Those are the stories. The Pentateuch, Penta means 5. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Then you had a period of judges. They went into the promised land. they didn't have a king for quite a while. And the people said, we want to have a king like everybody else. God said,
Yeah, I'm going to try to make this as tolerable as possible, but I fear this is going to go nowhere but south very quick. Which must mean the right kind of love is your cousin, according to Kenty Boy and his compadres. Also, I was eating some dinner and some turkey. It takes a little while to chew. Um, yeah, you brought up Abram and Israel and all that shit. Yeah, free Palestine. Fuck you, Hovind.
tell them, it's not good, but they didn't listen. So he gave them kings. So there's a period of kings. The first couple is Saul, and then King David, and then King Solomon, his son. Those are the first three. Then Solomon's son Rehoboam was a moron, and he split the kingdom, started a civil war, and from then on, you got two nations to keep track of: the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. So it gets a little confusing. The kings of Judah and the kings of Israel. It's all in the same country, just now divided north and south. There we go, kings of Judah. So here we are. The Old Testament has 3 letters.
Then Kent, it's not the same country anymore, dude.
Testament has 9. There are 39 books in the Old Testament. 3 times 9 is 27, and there are 27 books in the New Testament. The first 5 are called the Pentateuch, penta meaning 5, okay? Then we come to the poetry ones: Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Songs, sometimes usually called Song of Solomon. Solomon wrote love letters about falling in love with one of his wives, maybe his first one. I don't know. He had 700. We'll see. In the New Testament, you have a cluster of books about the church, the 4 Gospels, and then the Acts, the actions of the disciples. What did they do? Anyway, the great song or collection of poetic songs is unique in the Bible. If the Song of Solomon was not in our Bible, and we were to discover it as an ancient document from the time of Solomon, it's unlikely we would include it in the collection of Old Testament books, because some people think it's a little, risque. Charles Spurgeon preached 59 sermons on this book, and Bernard of Clairvaux preached 86 sermons on chapter 1 and 2 alone. Some avoid this book altogether. It's an important teacher in the early church said of Song of Solomon, that's Origen. I don't know if I trust what he says too much. I advise and counsel everyone who has not yet rid of vexations of the flesh and spirit, and has not ceased to feel the passions of the bodily nature, to refrain from reading the...
Getting more dinner in my system, but hey, at least I'm eating tonight. Last night I didn't bother with dinner. The struggle is real, friends. Oh, my life is chaos. No, his letter to Trump still has not been acknowledged. I noticed Kent has shut up about it. Maybe it did get acknowledged, and they said "fuck you." And as for asking how much Turkey Day dinner at the compound is this year, we really should. We should see, like, hey, was the price a bit higher or lower? Did it go about the same? Tell us. Love to know.
Book. Encourage people not to read Song of Solomon and the things that will be said about it. Origen apparently felt he was prepared to study Song of Solomon because he castrated himself when he was a young man.
Okay.
It's called Idiot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. There we go. Solomon, the richest man who ever lived.
Oh, but just cutting off a piece of the dick because of a defect, design recall that God put in there. That's totally cool.
King's wealth, described in the Hebrew Bible, was, according to 1 Kings, he had 666 talents of gold annually. That's about $4.7 million every day. If you can't live on that, you're living too high on the hog. Okay? As Solomon loved the Lord, he said in 1 Kings chapter 3, and the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream and said, Solomon, what do you want? Tell me what you want. I'll give you what you want. Okay? And Solomon said, I want wisdom. Lord, give me wisdom and understanding that I can. And the saying pleased the Lord that he asked this thing. This is in chapter 3. Okay? And the Lord said, behold, I've done according to thy words. I've given thee a wise and understanding heart. So there was none like him before, neither shall there be after him anybody like Solomon. You're going to be the smartest man ever. And I've also given thee that which thou didst not ask. You could have asked for money and peace in your time and victory and all that stuff. I'm going to give you that too. So Solomon built his own house for 13 years.
Oh, yes. Asking for peace is such a greedy thing.
And he finished his house. He had the biggest and fanciest house in the world. Okay? That's in chapter 7. Chapter 10. The king made a great throne of ivory and overlaid it with the best.
Okay, I didn't ask for this son of a bitch's life story. Also, why does the goddamn Bible spend so much time talking about this motherfucker? What does he have to do with the grand scheme of shit. Because so far, all I've heard is some dude who had a whole lot of women around him because, biblical marriage is one man and however many women he can afford to support, or not, doesn't matter. They're his property. Women are property in the Bible. Not independent individuals who, with their own lives and opinions and feelings. You're just property. Now scoot over, honey. What was I gonna say? Yeah, what the fuck is the point of this guy? Like, what's he supposed to be so special about him? Really need to know why this garbage book focuses on this fucker for like 4 fucking chapters. All right.
Gold, and he had 12 lions on each side.
Oh wait, that's probably because the bulk of the text that makes up the Old Testament and related material was probably written around dude's time, and obviously is going to focus on him. That might be it. I'm just taking a wild guess. I don't know. Again, I don't give a fuck about the Bible. Like, I can't even hate this garbage enough to learn about it to hate it more. If that makes sense. Like, I just don't care to that degree.
Quite a fancy throne to approach, okay? Chapter 10, Solomon gathered together chariots and horsemen and had 1,400 chariots and 12,000 horsemen. Huh. He had 1,400 chariots. Chapter 11, and he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. Huh.
Flatzoid probably fell off the ice wall. I don't know.
Solomon may have married many of them for political reasons. Marry the daughter of the king next door, and you have an alliance, and he's not going to attack you because his daughter's over at your house, okay? This polygamy was common in that day, right? How many total lifetime partners are too many? Let's see. In general, 4 to 10 is considered average. I think our country's falling apart, folks, okay? God said...
You've had at least 4. According to the way you talk about stuff. I don't know, though. I don't really care. But since we're talking about it.
Find one, get married, stay faithful to her life, okay?
Hey, yeah. People try that, Kent. Sometimes people fuck up. And I'm not talking about the guy.
Let's see. How many first marriages end in divorce? In 2025, 40...
And let's not read too deep into that. People of all types fuck up. I'm just saying. Personal experience.
1% of first marriages are expected to end in divorce. 9 reasons why the second and third marriages are more prone to divorce. Statistics show 50% of first-time marriages, 67% of second-time, and 74% of third end in divorce. Sounds bleak. Why is it more likely to initiate women? Who is more likely, men or women? According to American Sociological Association, 70% of divorces in the United States are initiated by the woman. She files for divorce, and in many states, you can't stop it. If they want it, they get it, okay? Nothing you can do. And this...
Also, to be clear, I've never been married. Ladies, available. God, that was lame even for me as a joke. It's not a joke. I'm single, but
This increases to 90% if we focus only on college-educated women. 90% of the divorces come from them. So King Solomon, in his day, it was common and socially acceptable to have more than one wife. That does not mean God planned it that way or wants it that way. It was simply...
Well, if your magic sky daddy didn't want it that way, then he could have told Solomon, yo, dude, you're doing stuff wrong. Also, all text in the Bible describes it as one man and however many women he can take care of. I'm not funny when I say that. That is basically what it says. It doesn't specify the one man, one woman like you all obsess over.
The custom of the day. Customs are often ungodly. God used both David and Solomon to write much of his word. If you have messed up, listen, God can still use you. God made one man in the garden and made one wife for him. King Solomon...
I'm not going to read the stuff, but you can see it on the screen. That tells you everything you need to know about the dangers of these mindsets, of people being so vilified for being human. It's horrible. Keep women uneducated. Hovind.
Must have picked up the idea from his dad or mom, Bathsheba. She was wife number 8 for King David. David had, we don't know how many, some people think 17.
It's funny hearing about David because my ex happened to be named after the first wife.
When I went to prison for 9 years, see my open letter to Donald Trump.
Oh, there it is. We were talking about it, and there it is. It's been 10 months, Kent. No one cares. No one cares about your fucking letter.
From February 1st on all my channels. They moved me 32 times. Because I was a federal prisoner and low security, I was often selected to pass out the groceries on the bus. I was on one trip, I don't remember what state I was in, New Hampshire, I think, and I'm passing out the groceries to the guys. One guy's chained around his waist and handcuffed to the chain.
That was all Hovind's in. That wasn't me.
And his name was Vinny. I brought him his lunch and sat down by Vinny. Hey, Vinny, what are you in for and how much longer you got? Talk to him, stuff like that. He told me he had over 1,000 women. I said, I've only had one for 40 years. Is there a difference? He looked puzzled. He said, not really. I said, why don't you get one and be happy? He said, I never thought of that.
I'll take conversations that never happened. Also, Kent, if you were in some kind of minimum security deal, you wouldn't be there with somebody who's fucking chained up. That's not how any of this shit works, you fucking moron. Christ, you're dumb. If you think other people believe that shit, oh wait, they do because your followers are fucking morons. Anyone with half a brain that actually works would know that that's a load of shit.
Like, duh. Okay. King Solomon had
Duh.
more money than you could spend, more women than you knew, more wisdom than any man in the world ever, and more honor. His own army, he had the biggest house, the fanciest throne. Was he satisfied? No. Still didn't get it. Okay. King Solomon, the world's wisest man, understood the importance of real marital love, not just lust. The love story of Song of Solomon may be about his first wife. Many people think that. It might be a poem or song to teach his sons and daughters about love and marriage. Either way, God saw to it that his wisdom was preserved.
Hey, honey, you want to hear Daddy's sick and twisted perversions? He wrote them in a song, and it's going to be in the Bible. Your great grandchildren are going to love it. Ugh. Everything about this is giving me the heebie jeebies.
In his word for us today. Solomon's wisdom about treating the spouse. There's a lot of good stuff in Song of Solomon. So God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that fly above the earth.
Ooh, I apologize. After saying that turn of phrase, I was like, wait a minute, is that potentially, considered offensive? And apparently it may be considered possible anti-Semitic origins. So, apologize for that. Try to work on that stuff, but the same rate, I'll drop the R word every now and then. So, I don't know. Yeah, just reminder that I try to be self-aware, unlike Hovind here.
Earth in the open firmament of heaven. The firmament is the atmosphere, okay? And God created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind, and God saw it was good. And God blessed them, saying, be fruitful.
And the voice of God said, oh, friend.
And multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, let fowl multiply in the earth. God made the fish and the birds on day 5, and the first thing he said, go have a bunch of kids.
Let's get it on. Here we go. You're going to hear a nearly 73-year-old man talk about sex drive. Get ready for it, everyone. How likely is it that Kent makes his national pornographic joke in this video? I'd give 2-to-1 odds that he doesn't say it. So if my understanding of odds is correct, that would mean a 1/3 chance that he does make the national pornographic joke.
One of the greatest drives of every bird and sea creature is to fulfill that command. They can't wait to go make babies, okay? Fish and birds fight over mating rights to this day. They'll fight and kill each other over this. Animals fight over mating rights to this day.
Wow, it's almost as if that's a basic instinct, Kent. Probably because the parts that control that drive are in the most primitive sections of the brain, deep down in the core of it. Yeah. It's kind of how evolution works, dude. I mean, you're literally pointing at yet another element of common ancestry.
Just watch any nature program and you'll see them out there. They go, look at the goats, button heads. That's my woman. No, that's mine. And they go tell one
And God created 15-foot whale penises on day 5. That's Hovind's favorite part of the Bible.
gets knocked out, and then I don't know what they do. Okay. Same thing with humans. God blessed man, God made man in his own image, and male and female, and God blessed them and said, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. It's the same thing for the humans. The first
Since we're bringing up Marshmallow Peeps, it was right after Easter one year when I worked at Toys R Us. So it was only a 3-year period I worked there. I had transitioned to the game store job during that, and then shifted over to just that exclusively. Um, Things went clearance. We had a ton of stuff. Long story short, I bought $100 worth of Peeps for $10. I got very, very sick that week, chowing down on Peeps. I no longer want Peeps. I still love the idea of Marshmallow Peeps. I do not ever want to eat one again. I will, however, still get merchandise related to them. I had, I think I've got in storage a bunch of the little plushy Marshmallow Peeps that, like the plush Peeps that come with like a pack of them, that were an option. I think I have, every version available that I could find. I think there were like 4 or 5. So yeah, I don't know. Just it was fun. It's like I'm gonna buy $100 worth of Peeps simply because I can, and I saved that receipt, man.
man, he said, was to go have a bunch of kids. He created the need, the needed equipment, and the drive to fulfill that command. Here we have Song of Songs, which is Solomon's. The bride confesses her love. Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for thy love is better than wine. Because of the savor of thy good ointments, my
Oh,
name is an
uh,
ointment.
yes, this is some of the stuff that was in King of the Hill when Reverend Stroop and Bill started dating for that short period, and yeah, Bloodhound Gang, that song, man, that song, just what we needed at that time. We didn't know what was to come.
Poured forth. Therefore do the virgins love thee. Now, kisses in the Bible are in there quite a few times. Judas' kiss on the cheek was a kiss of betrayal. Mary's kiss on the feet was a kiss of dear love. Okay, the kiss of passion and
Which Mary?
real love. There are 3 kinds of kisses: prune, peach, and alfalfa.
What in the actual fuck was that? First off, and I've grown up around some weird ass people, right? I've never fucking heard alfalfa kissing. Secondly, why the fuck did you say it that way? We're going through that again. I apologize. Everyone get your barf bags ready. This is fucking weird, man.
There are 3 kinds of kisses: prune, peach, and alfalfa.
FF. What the fuck, Kent? Please tell me there's not children in this goddamned audience, even though we fucking know there are.
Somebody said French kissing is all a matter of personal taste. Okay. Draw me. You agree, Joseph? Okay. We will run after thee. The king hath brought me into his chambers. We will be glad and rejoice in thee. We will remember thy love more than wine. The upright love thee. Then she said, this is the girl speaking, I am black but comely. Comely means handsome or good looking, okay? O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the
Attractive, Kent. Attractive is the word you're looking for.
tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. She was dark, apparently from being forced to work out in the vineyard, get suntan. Back in some cultures, if you work outside and get dark skin to a woman, that doesn't, they like to be bright white. Okay, and okay, the self doubt the maiden had regarding her own appearance should not be overstated. She did feel in some ways unattractive and unworthy. Don't look upon me because I'm black, okay, or dark. At the same time, she could say she's lovely. Look not upon me. This is an attitude very common in early Christian life. We do not want our natural life to be exposed. thus being sufficient.
Like Hovind doesn't want his natural life to be exposed. That's why he lies and says it's everybody else's fault.
Be dealt with by the Holy Spirit, immature believers will tend to hide from others. They do not wish to be known as they really are. Because the sun has tanned me. Perhaps it's best to say that she saw herself as fundamentally lovely, yet marred by the prolonged exposure in the sun, transforming her fair skin to dark, deeply tanned skin. Hey, I think it's perfectly fine. Have a tan. There's the real Kent Hovind right there. Okay. I'm not afraid to get out in the sun. I was lifeguard a couple summers at the Salvation Army.
And that's why your skin looks like a leather, wrinkled ass. It looks terrible, dude. God damn this fucking thing.
In Peoria, Illinois.
There we go. And yes, I know I was hot mic for that. I just wanted y'all to hear my frustrations.
Look not upon me because I'm black, because the sun hath looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but mine own vineyard have I not kept. What happened here? Here's one of the commentators said, my mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards. Worse still for the maiden, her unattractive appearance was unjustly forced upon her by her stepbrothers. Somewhat as a Cinderella figure, she was forced to work by cruel relatives. The maiden seems to make, or at least almost makes, the mistake of thinking that her hardships have disfigured her and made her less qualified to be truly loved.
Well, in a culture where the only value to women is how hot they are and how much you can pump them for whatever you can get from them, quite literally, yeah, that would have been a problem.
She was keeper of the house. Her keeper of the vineyard, her own vineyard have I not kept. How many housekeepers are housekeepers full-time or we're going to, and then their own house is a disaster. Okay. Tell me, O thou whom my soul lovest, where thou feedest, where thou makest thy flock to rest at noon. For why should I
Note that he said lovest and it's loveth.
be as one that turned aside by the flocks of thy companions? Many commentators have analyzed the book of Song of Solomon, and they think they're kind of conversing back and forth. I doubt they're texting or emailing back then, but they were conversing. So one time it's the husband, bride teaching, and other times it's the groom talking, okay? Solomon and his bride delight in each other. If thou know not, O thou fairest among women. By the way, guys, compliment your wife. Tell them they look beautiful. Okay, find something nice to say, okay?
That right there. Find something nice to say. Huh? Shouldn't you just have things to say? I know I sure did. Let's be real, I really liked my ex's eyes. I mean, she was beautiful, but man, compliment her on those a lot. Sometimes I just kind of, I'm looking at her talking, just stare. You know, this is the thing you do. It's like just hypnotizing, you know? It's just normal brown eyes, but just, I don't know. And I'd bring up stuff like that. Sorry, this one kind of hurts a little personally, given how long I was with my ex-girlfriend. How I still feel quite damaged from the end of that relationship, very vulnerable. How much I cared. Like, it fucking hurts. Still, 3+ years later. It's gonna hurt for a while. C'est la vie.
They're very sensitive. They want to be calm. They want to look nice. How much money is spent in the world on women trying to look better?
Kent, my ex was all natural and looked amazing. Hated if she did put makeup on, which was pretty much never, except for a wedding she went to. And she looked like a damn clown.
Billions, yeah. I mean, the clothing, the makeup, the perfume. They go thy way forth by the...
Nope, he doesn't try to correct himself. You see this a lot, and I know we've pointed out before, and I know you've all have noticed it, but if you really pay attention, he will regularly just mess up on what he's reading and not care. And to me, that shows a lack of giving a damn about what the Bible actually says. He's so focused on that particular version being the correct one, yet he'll butcher stuff from it, if only slightly still.
The footsteps of the...
It doesn't change anything, really, but, I mean, it's still a matter of not giving a damn, that apathy.
flock, and feed thy kids beside the shepherd's tents. I have compared thee, O my love, to a company of horses in Pharaoh's chariots. Now, probably today, if you called your wife a horse, it would not go well, okay? But that was in those days. In those days, that was a compliment. Oh, those horses are so handsome and pretty. And yeah, okay. Thy cheeks are comely with rows of jewels, and thy neck with chains of gold. We will make thee borders of gold with studs of silver. While the king sitteth at his table, my spikenard, that's a perfume, sendeth forth the smell thereof. So she's thinking, hey, the king's over there.
Spikenard.
He's going to smell my perfume. Notice me. Come on right here. Okay. Spikenard.
That's also true. The Bible does say what he wants it to say, and that is true of every single person using the Bible to justify anything, is it always conveniently says exactly what they want it to say. It's kind of like how for some reason every person's version of God, Jesus, whatever, happens to have the exact beliefs that that person does.
Essential oil comes from that plant right there, spikenard. You can get 3 ounces of spikenard for only $79. Forget it, okay?
It's better than buying your DVD set.
A bundle of myrrh is my well beloved to me. He shall lie all night betwixt my breasts. Okay.
Whoa. Okay. No comments there. I was going to say, if you want to drop like $50 on something, forget the thing. There's a website out there selling apparently Ukrainian operation that's supposed to be selling like little metal bits made from old Russian tanks. The Russians ain't going to be needing them anymore. That have been destroyed during the war over there, and there's scrapping them and selling the parts. It's just kind of cool. Like, it's like under $50 with the promo they got going on. I was just looking at that as I was scrolling around, waiting to decide when I wanted to stream, and I thought that was pretty cool. So, there's a lot better things to spend $50 on than Hovind's DVDs.
Myrrh. They sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and saw a company.
But I mean, I'd almost consider crystal meth a better investment than Kent Hovind's DVDs. Do not take me seriously on that, but I think more joy can be found going down the rabbit hole than in Hovind's DVDs. And you'll come out equally damaged, but have a better time. For the love of all that is holy, do not do. I shouldn't be having to tell anybody that. Oh, please, people, take care of yourselves. I care about y'all too much.
Of Ishmaelites coming down. This is when they're going to sell Joseph, their brother. They had balm and myrrh to carry it down to Egypt. Myrrh, this perfume, this good smelling stuff, was a hot commodity to sell, and the traders would haul it around on their camels and sell it. Okay. Their father Israel said,
he had to bring up the camels for some reason.
Go bring a little stuff down to Pharaoh. Go down, because this is the story when they had the money put back in their bags, okay? And take some myrrh down there.
So what, they got a refund?
They'll take principal spices, pure myrrh, 500 shekels, Book of Exodus, okay. I perfume my bed with myrrh.
Speaking of 500 shekels, you know what would really help me out? If everyone donated a few bucks and we got up to like 500 shekels being paid out in December. I could do a lot with that money, like something really cool for y'all. Not even kidding. But seriously, this is the part where I'm going to beg for money. Money, please. No, seriously though, just a reminder. You got some spare cash burning a hole in your pocket, send it my way. It'll go towards a good cause of keeping me going. Otherwise, I might run out of fuel, and then I'll fall down the mountain. And then where will I be? In between two mountains. I'm just making it up as I go along. Let's continue.
Again, perfume. Okay, myrrh is mentioned in the Book of Song of Solomon a bunch of times. Okay, in Matthew chapter 2, the wise guys came to Jesus in the house. By the way, it was in the house. Don't get confused about the Christmas story. The shepherds came when he was just born in the manger.
Manger babies. Can't bathe in Old Spice on his wedding night. I resemble that remark.
2 years later, the wise men show up, and he's in a house by now. Joseph apparently got a job, carpentry job or something, and he stayed in Bethlehem. So they're in the house. Read it. They came into the house. The Christmas scenes always put the wise guys and the shepherds all together. And that's not
The wise guys. Vinny, Tony, and Antonio. The three wise guys.
worth fighting, but it's not true. Okay. So they brought Jesus gold, frankincense, and myrrh. That's interesting. Later, when he was crucified, guess what they put on his tomb? Myrrh. They gave him.
Wow, you just said it was a hot commodity earlier, so it's probably one of those things that they would put for anything. You know, it's like, hey, you got married, here's some myrrh. You got crucified, here's some myrrh. Your son finally got a wife they didn't have to pay for the night. Here's some myrrh. Myrrh for everybody. Got a promotion at your job? Myrrh. Didn't die of plague? Myrrh.
To drink wine mingled with myrrh. He received it not. There came Nicodemus and brought a mixture of myrrh
He was going to say Nicodemus.
aloes, 100-pound weight. This is for Jesus' burial. So myrrh is a big thing. Okay. Strange things that attract mates. Animals that are truly weird. Their courtship. Let's see, what is this one? Some animals bend over backwards when courting their mates, like this brolga.
Nino Savant, lockpicking skill 100. I will say, I think Skyrim's one of the most overrated pieces of software ever, but I do enjoy lockpicking. Bible never says there were three magicians, that they were wise.
A crane-like bird in Australia. It impresses the mate how far he can bend his neck back. Oh, you're the one for me. Yeah, let's go necking or whatever. I don't think. The giraffe. He has to taste her pee to decide if he's interested.
Here we go. As soon as I saw the draft picture, I'm like, oh my god, he's going to bring up water sports. Hey, Kent. Welcome to evolution. Welcome to quirks that have no reason to disappear. Apparently has some kind of benefit enough. In this case, testing whether she's ovulating, ready to go or not. Otherwise, it's kind of a waste of effort. I mean, it might be fun, but I'm just saying. I don't care. I ain't gonna get into it all like you do, Mister. I have a goddamn book called Making Babies because I obsess over animal sex all the time. Hovind. But dude, is this really Bible lesson material? Seriously. Put this in context. Oh, here's a Bible preacher. Here we go. And this is what you come in on. Let's just click the stream and let's see where he is.
Let's go necking or whatever. I don't think. The giraffe. He has to taste her pee to decide if he's interested or not.
I guarantee you, every random Christian house mom I've ever run across would immediately be like, nope to that shit. Just like I nope to their profiles on dating sites.
Well, I'm glad we're not giraffes, okay? How about this one? Some kind of snail shoots a dart into the head of the other one. And, oh, she loves me. She shot me. Yeah. The snail.
Kent, love doesn't have anything to do with it. Not that it ever did for you. No, that's called you're gonna do this, whether you like it or not. It's kind of a weird reverse rape thing going on. Welcome to fucking animals, man. We're talking little slugs. It's like, okay, shit gets weird when you get to that branch of life. See, now you're into insects. Maybe stick to mammals, because you're dealing with a whole different clade over here.
The male black widow spider steps on the female's web. He vibrates his abdomen, sending signals coursing along the silk strands. He advances and vibrates and pauses to see if she's going to eat him or not. Distinctly different from the shorter, more regular movements of trapped prey. See, she's feeling the web and when shaking when a fly is trapped, she knows that's a fly. But this vibration is different. Oh, he's coming. He wants me. Oh, yeah. Okay. There's a hermaphrodite sea slug, has both male and female sex organs. When pairs come together to mate, they stab each other between the eyes. Joseph, I don't want to be a sea slug.
No, sir.
Okay. 5-inch pufferfish spend 7 to 9 days making a.
Oh yeah, it's all good. That's the nature of things, especially with card cancellations and the like. I appreciate you.
7-foot pattern
And happy to see you. I haven't seen you in a hot minute.
on the seafloor near Japan to attract a mate. Spends over a week making this pattern on the floor.
Yeah, and look at how long people will spend dating each other before the other party finally decides, yeah, I like you more than just, hanging out. People spend months, years even, trying to attract somebody. Not just anybody, I mean a particular person. Welcome to life. Welcome to the weird things that multiple creatures with independent existences interacting, things that happen. It's pretty awesome.
The dust on the floor of the sea. She comes by. Oh, he's the one for me. Buffer. Okay. Body parts that reflect ultraviolet light.
Someone tell Kenty boy how bed bugs fuck. Don't look it up.
Male jumping spider catch female's eyes, all 8 of them. She's got 8 eyes. Oh, look at him. His mustache is glowing. Okay. The males lure the female spiders by striking poses.
This dude is supposed to love his magic sky daddy who created everything, but he sure talks a lot of shit about all kinds of about all other life. He's just talking so much shit right now. Like, dude, where the fuck does this even come from? Are you just pissed off the jumping spiders and the giraffes and the fucking dart zombie sex slave slugs are getting more action than you are? Get the fuck over it, man. You had your chance and it was called prison.
That display these glowing patches prominently. Female spiders have a glowing trick of their own, possessing palps, a pair of appendages near the head that fluoresce green. They use to attract the male. These are some of the main.
He has not, and we will not speak of the hyena sex. We will not speak of it. Champagne room rules, Champagne room rules here, people. No sex in the champagne room. It's done. If you're on my Discord, you already know. Or if you're familiar with the song and the cultural reference from the late 90s, early 2000s era.
Okay, different things attract different animals. One species, a hummingbird, has a long tail. Tail is 6 inches long, much longer than the bird, and he flops it around.
Much longer than the Hovind, and he flops it around. Jesus Christ, he flops it around. You sick fuck. Could have said flaps, waves. Anything would have been better than flops it around. We know where your mind's going. Hovind is a closet homosexual. Film at 11.
And they're iridescent. Oh, and she says, wow, look at that. I like him. Male mice seeking to impress a mate sing unique high-pitched songs.
And yeah, that's another thing. None of this does have anything to do with the poetry that is Song of Solomon, which means this man has literally just put in a bunch of things about animal reproduction because, as we already know, this man is obsessed with animal sex. Christ, he's disturbing.
And
yes, I said disturbing. He's disturbing, obviously.
Ultrasonic range. They produce these whistling sounds, which differ greatly from normal communication, by creating a type of feedback loop of airflow in the windpipe and the larynx. Scientists discovered mechanism by shooting.
We might as well also remind Kent that echidnas have a four-headed dick.
High-speed video of the mice larynx as they vocalized. That's a voice box. Capturing 100,000 frames per second. Impressive though this technique may be, the female mice are picky about it, which songs they like. They prefer tunes that differ from those sung by their relatives. How did that evolve?
You know what? Just for maximum horror, hyenas. We'll just go that route.
The female mouse listens to the male singing and says, that's one of my cousins. I don't want to marry him. How did this evolve, guys?
Oh, God, see, there he fucking goes. I don't know, Kent. Why don't you ask the people who specialize in animal reproduction scientifically, not in the sick kink way like you do, and those particular creatures and ask the details? How about you ask the experts and not random-ass people online?
What is this one? The male red-cheeked cordon bleu songbird performs his mating tap dance to court the gal next to him.
Good point, my friend.
But they found out high-speed video revealed a mating dance performed by a species of songbird tapping their feet too quickly for the movements to be seen with the naked eye. Blue-capped cordon bleu songbirds, both males and females, well known to bob their heads and sing to each other, but a 2015 study published in the journal Scientific Reports that the first to capture the rapidly tapping of their toes. Huh. Female North American porcupines are only fertile a few hours each year. Prior to ovulating, the female secretes a fragrant, to a porcupine, vaginal mucus. The lucky male that finds her stimulates.
And he's just going on like this.
Ovulation by drenching her in an explosive jet of urine. Oh, he pees on her. Oh, he's the one. These are. Could you atheists please explain how this evolved? Okay. For a long time, he didn't know what he's supposed to do. He knew he wanted.
Sexual selection has been demonstrated time and time again to show odd quirks and proclivities. Why do I like redheads? What is it about redheads that is somehow so much more special to me? There's no logic to it. It just is. Now, to be fair, I can think of a few reasons why I do, but why is there any kind of preference? There just is. Welcome to the nature of things. It's weird. Life is weird. That's what makes it fun. Just, I don't get how you can't get that, man. It's like studying the cosmos. It's the same thing to me. So many basic principles. But then at scale, it's so fucking incredible. And I just take it for what it is. Animals, it's the same thing. Plant life, same thing. The very nature of the planet, same thing. The different continents, the different geographic features we've got. The different cultures that have existed in humanity. All different species of animals around. Just the variety of stuff out there is amazing. And I just take it for what it is and try to understand more of what I can from what we actually know. Not just explain everything away with magic mumbo jumbo, dude. I don't know where you're going. I literally can't understand thinking about the world like this and asking these kinds of questions in this way. It does not make sense to me. I don't know.
Everybody, what do I do? Be on her. Oh, okay, good idea. The bowl is not.
And yes, I know I'm getting moderately personal in this one, but this is me as a human in such discussions because, one, we've already got biblical characters that correlate to the longest relationship of my life with the person I cared about more than anyone ever, I believe. So that's kind of bringing up some stuff. And then other things, it's like, look, Kent, I'm a human as well. I have my preferences and stuff. I'm not going to go into crazy detail. No one needs to hear any of that stuff. You haven't learned that lesson, but that's fine. But I mean, I can bring up comparisons on the human level in my own life, my own experiences that express why, they're like, okay, what is this? Why is this? It just is. Sometimes that's all there is to it.
Not impressed or interested in the cow's udder, okay? The boar is not interested or impressed with the pig's udder, okay? Girl.
Yeah, and there you go. Yeah, you know what? It's because we're wired as it's a nature of seems like apes and such, that especially with Homo sapiens being the very social creatures we are, apparently we really developed an understanding of the traits that show fertility and ability to bring children about. But then again, people always have preferences. Some people are going to like bigger girls all around, some like more slender, some like, all varieties, all mixes therein. Welcome to personal choice. Welcome to the nature of our own proclivities for stuff, whatever fires the right synapses. It just is. There's a lot of study going into it. Maybe you should ask the experts. I know what I like. Other people know what they like. That's just how this stuff is.
Dress modestly. Please dress modestly. Daddy would say.
And here comes the slut shaming.
If you're not in business, don't advertise, okay? Save it for your husband, okay? My beloved is unto me as a cluster of camphor in the vineyards of Engedi. Camphor is only used twice in the Bible, both in the Song of Solomon. It's again a aroma, a perfume. Waxy, colorless solid with a strong aroma. It's naturally derived from the wood of the camphor laurel tree in East Asia. Beloved, behold, thou art fair, my love. Behold, thou art fair. Thou hast doves.
And look at how he just smoothly goes right back into the Bible. It's disgusting how he does that. You can just go into all that useless shit and then come right back to this.
Eyes. I guess that's a compliment. Okay. Behold, thou art fair, my beloved. Yea, pleasant also. Our bed is green. The beams of our house are cedar, and our rafters are fir. I guess she's describing the house he built for her. So, anyway, first chapter of Song of Solomon is a love story between him and probably his first wife, first love. Okay. Any questions or comments? Yes.
Our friend Maria with a very good comment here. As always, I find him offensive because he's reducing human sexuality and affection to animal reproduction. Oddly dehumanizing for somebody who thinks that humans are the special life on Earth. You know?
When we are born again is the part that cannot send the Holy Spirit in us, or our new spirit man. Good question. The Holy Spirit is in us. You're born again. You're born into God's.
Now I want to stress, anyone else notice that he's doing more and more of these big-ass Q&A sessions afterwards? We're halfway through this video, and he's now into Q&A. So we got another 20 minutes of this man going through shit.
Image, okay? And that which is born of God cannot sin, the Bible says. So I've taken the position for years. Nobody's proven me wrong. I'm willing to discuss it. But when you get saved, there's a whole new nature put into you. You still have the old nature. And Paul,
Song of Solomon, I didn't notice that, and I don't feel like going back to try to find it. I wish I'd have seen the comment slightly sooner.
Paul was anxious to get rid of that. He wrote to, I forget what church, he said, wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death? The things that I want to do, I don't do, and the things that I don't want to do, I end up doing. It's a battle that only Christians understand. If you have two natures, the new nature, the new Kent Hovind, born 56 years ago into my Heavenly Father's family, cannot sin. The old one loves to sin, and they fight all the time. So I think it's the best.
But your sins are forgiven, so you can do whatever you want, Kent, and clearly you do.
Best way to explain it, at least, that we have a new nature that is not even capable of sinning. That's why some people say Christians can't sin, and they go around holy, think I'm holy, I've never sinned since I got saved. Baloney. Stay away from you. Yeah. Okay. Appalachian philosophy.
And see, Hovind uses the logic that he can get away with being a shitty person because it'll be forgiven, so he'll acknowledge he's a shitty person, which is just as dangerous as pretending you're not a shitty person.
I watched one of your videos and you said the carbon dating was unreliable. Can you explain why? Well, for obvious reasons, okay? If you take the biblical account in Genesis 1 and 2, when God made the world, there was a layer of ice or water above the firmament where the birds fly. I'm a strong believer in what's called the canopy theory. There was a crystal canopy surrounding the world, probably 10 miles up. And that was compressing all the air that's now...
We get this shit again. People, you can't just say, buy DVD 7. Buy my carbon dating pamphlet for $15 fucking.
Now stretched out 50 miles, down into maybe 10, just guessing. I mean, when you climb Mount Everest, tallest mountain in the world, 5 miles, you can't breathe up there. There's not enough air. The air's too thin. But if you compress the air all around the world, breathing would be easier at the surface, and probably and that crystal canopy that the Jews have always taught was 2 or 3 fingers thick.
Yes, everyone want to go and try to breathe in crushing pressure? Go try it, Kent. Go into a chamber pressure, set up to 20 bar pressure and tell me. Or 20 psi, not 20 bar. 20 bar would literally crush him. Or would be very dangerous to him.
My video number 2, where I cover this and show all the references on this, the scientific references. This crystal canopy would also block out UV light. Ultraviolet light, UV light, is what creates carbon-14. It strikes the nitrogen, which is atomic number 14, knocks a few things off of it, and it becomes carbon-14. Carbon's normally number 12 on the periodic table. Well,
what does that number mean, Kent? Can you explain? Can you? I'm waiting. I need you to actually explain the process. Because you never explain the process.
Carbon-14 does not want to be carbon-14. It wants to, decay because it's radioactive and the particles fly off and you can hear them with a Geiger counter. Click, click, click. Okay, it's a radioactive element. There are quite a few. So carbon-14 and carbon-12 Both quickly bond with oxygen and make carbon dioxide.
That's going to be the most depth he could ever go into anything related to radioactivity. Like, relevant guy counter, click, click, click.
Plants are breathing carbon.
Hey, Kent, do you know what the CPM means? Do you know the difference between alpha, beta, and gamma decay? Do you know what the half-life of a free neutron is?
Carbon dioxide. Some of what they're breathing is this radioactive carbon dioxide. So you could hold a Geiger counter next to a plant and it would go click, click, click because of the C14 in the plant tissue, the leaf or the...
No, Kent, you're not going to get measurements above background because the amount of C14 is quite minimal. If it was to that degree, we would have pretty big problems, given the energy release and the decay chain of the C14. The C14 and was it beta decay? Double checking. Give me a moment. Carbon-14 decays through beta decay. A neutron in carbon-14 nucleus transforms into a proton, releasing an electron, a beta particle, and an electron antineutrino. This increases the atomic number about... Increases them? God damn it. It's Google AI, you fucking get all the shit bass backwards. Google AI, ladies and gentlemen, literally getting mixed up on whether it's talking about the formation or the decay of carbon-14. Oh, go to hell. I still know more about it than Kent, even if I don't know offhand, because it's not like I got every single particle's decay chain memorized. I've been really interested in the thorium cycle and trying to understand aspects of neutron activation. Hey, Kent, I got some tritium infused water for you. It's super heavy water. Yeah, the hydrogen's got 2 neutrons. Give it a drink. It's good for you. And for those who don't get the joke, tritium is very radioactive. Heavy water, hydrogen, water molecules that contain hydrogen with a neutron, because normally hydrogen, i.e. protium, is just 1 proton and 1 neutron, or 1 electron, no neutrons. Heavy water is, you don't need large quantities of it because the mass, the density difference does cause issues, but small quantities are perfectly okay. We have some in our body right now, but tritium, that is unstable. That has a half-life of about 12 years, meaning that joker's going to decay at some point, likely in your system. And you don't want that, somewhere in a cell or something. Just having a neutron just decay right next to your DNA, that's a bad time. Ask some people in Ukraine how we know.
Animals come along and eat the plants, so they get into their body. Probably during your lifetime, you've either eaten plants or you've eaten animals that have eaten plants for probably just about every meal. Okay, that's how we end up with carbon-14 in us, radioactive carbon. When you die, or the animal dies, or the plant dies, it stops taking in any more carbon-14. Stop taking in any.
Otaku, let me guess, your dad had a radioactive trace done, so they were still emitting from the material. Actually, might have been a minor tritium, minor bit of tritium. Maybe. I forget the tracers. I could be completely wrong. You know what I want is one of those little tritium vials that glows. That would be pretty cool to get. I should order one.
And so whatever it had begins to decay. So what they're doing when they carbon date anything, they're checking how much C14 is in it, which they can do very accurately. Okay. The atmospheric carbon now, the air we're breathing, is 0.0000765% carbon-14. Very, very, very tiny amount. As soon as you die, it takes about 5,700 years for half of that to decay or break down, fall apart.
Kent, radioactive decay is not breaking down or falling apart. All right. Once again, we have a combination here of the language of somebody who, 1, has no fucking clue what they're talking about, and 2, specifically targets everything they say to children, because he can't get complicated with this because his target audience is actually children. Sickening.
And so if you find a fossil and you dig it up and you carbon date it and say, wow, it's only got half as much as we do today, it's been dead for 5,700 years. If you only get 1/4 as much, now it's been dead for, double that. There'd be 104. They're going by half-life. Every half-life is 5,700 years. So they're taking the carbon-14 in the spots in the sample they're dating compared to the atmosphere today. And there's one of the major problems.
That's not one of the problems, Kent. Actually look into the process. Why people would ask you when they could just ask the actual people who do this science is beyond me. But I think they're too stupid to comprehend that maybe they should ask the actual experts.
If before the flood this crystal canopy was up there, the plants and animals that lived there would have very little C14 in their body. So we would dig them up and date them by today's standard, and they're going to date much older than they really are, because we're assuming they started with 0.0000765. No, they didn't. They started with way less than that. Secondly, they're assuming that the C14 has never been contaminated. There's been the decay rate's been the
Kent. I was going to say is that, again, by your logic, then the readings should be extremely weird. We should either have. We should never have anything other than this is extremely recent or this has nothing. But that's not how it works. But did you just get into decay rates not being constant?
they're assuming that the C14 has never been contaminated. There's been the decay rate's been the same.
Okay, I thought that's where you were going. Once again, Kent, if decay rates changed, the fundamental properties of the universe would be completely unreliable, and all reality would cease to be. This I stress this every time. This kind of talk from the same people who talk about fine-tuned, the cosmological argument, everything's fine-tuned for life when it's not. But then they'll say that this extremely fundamental property of the universe, certain decay properties of different atoms, based on the nature of the particular isotope in question, fundamental properties of how the strong force, the weak force, protons and neutrons bind and actually act in reality and in different molecular combinations. He wants to act like that can just change, willy-nilly. And it's like, dude, for that to change requires truly fundamental properties of the universe to change. Everything would be fucked up.
They know
Whole universe, Thanos snap. I really believe quite literally you toggle one of those things and that's what you'd see. Just everything ceased to be.
the solar sunspot cycle every 11 years affects the decay rate and formation rate of carbon-14. I cover in video 7 all the different problems with carbon dating. It is not reliable.
I really need to go through and tear down his carbon dating bullshit. I care too much about radioactive decay to not tackle that in a very direct way.
Often get different dates from the same sample. When they took lava from Mount St. Helens to laboratories and said, would you carbon date it? They said, no, we won't do it. Go to
Yes, Kent, because you're not going to carbon date fucking volcanic material from an eruption at the time that this would have all happened that y'all constantly bring up 10 or 20 years ago. This would have been in the 90s through 2000s range is when this stuff kind of starts bringing up. You carbon date life, relatively recent remains of life forms for a multitude of well understood and well explained reasons.
what was Ron Wyatt's website to try to get stuff covered? Ron Wyatt, W-Y-A-T-T, ronwyatt.com. They wouldn't carbon date it. Why not? It's too old. How do you know it's too old? You haven't dated it yet. See, they date things by the geologic column, which does not exist anywhere.
Which does not exist anywhere. You know what does fucking exist? And I'm holding right now? Don't read too deep into that. I have a nice Vaseline glass candlestick holder, probably from the 30s. I don't know, but it's Vaseline glass. Got that greenish tint to it that's so nice and pretty. Glows under UV light because it contains uranium. It's going to be mostly 238. There might be a few bits of 235 in there, which would be technically there probably is some U235 in here. We're talking, maybe a couple of dozen atoms. I don't know. I could probably try to figure it out. Um, but yeah, it is kind of fucking awesome having this thing. Cause yeah, it got fucking uranium in it. I also have a like 1950s era like ore or mineral sample thingy that contains uranium ore. So that's pretty cool. Um, I got a few other things that are neat and in this subject, but yeah, I just it's one of those things, man. When Kent gets talking about the cosmos, gets talking about stars, gets talking about high energy physics, gets talking about radioactivity and stuff. He's way too into the stuff that I love. And that's the thing is that I care about this stuff for a genuine interest. It isn't like it's a career or anything. No, no, no. I'm just some fucking nerd somewhere more than likely on the spectrum who really likes this stuff. And while my mind is a torrent of chaotic thoughts, where I can't keep focused on anything. So I'm probably likely that AUDHD that people bring up, a mix of somewhere on the autism spectrum and the ADHD spectrum. It goes without saying that I do know my stuff. I care about this more deeply than he does his Bible. But, I'm just being lied to by everybody, all the scientists, all the databases, all the math, all the physics, all the real history we have.
Dumbest idea ever to teach kids the layers are different ages. Okay, other questions? What's the capital of Kazakhstan? Oh, easy, K.
I actually don't know what the capital of Kazakhstan is. Oh, it's Crybaby. What is the capital of Kazakhstan? Astana. Okay. Astana, located in the north part of the country, renamed Nur Sultan. Nur Sultan before, from 2019 to 2022 before being reverted to Astana. Fascinating.
Anything demonic about AI? I don't know about demonic. I think Satan's going to use it. Satan wants a one.
And yeah, it hit me right after I was muted that I was muted.
World government. He wants to control the world. See, God created the world, and Satan wants to be like God. We read Ezekiel 28 and Isaiah 14. Lucifer said, I will be like the Most High. He wants God's job, which means he wants to be like God. So since God knows everything, he wants to know everything. Satan wants to know what you're thinking. That's the whole idea about this.
Zoso, you may or may not have gotten the memo that I was, I have had email exchanges with Joseph to set up a debate. And that the last email exchange happened right before somebody showed who they really are. And I haven't bothered to get around to emailing Joseph back because I've been too busy with, living life.
AI chip they're going to put in your forehead or in your hand where you can't buy or sell without it. Now we all become one big computer. What's the name of that thing called? They're trying to do link everybody together. Neuralink, yeah. It's satanic. It's part of his goal to take over.
People say this shit and they take it serious, and others take it seriously. I love it.
Who would know what everybody's thinking? I don't want to know what everybody's thinking. Anyway, so yeah, I think it's whether it's demonic or it's going to be used by Satan. Guns are not demonic, but sometimes they're used by demonic people.
Oh, it appears we had a pathetic Hovind died in the chat. Whoopity fucking do. Piss off there, Kenneth. With this classic, right, because institutions of men are telling the truth, right? It's like, yeah, you're the one who needs to prove that there's some kind of massive conspiracy to lie to everybody about literally everything, that every single person in every single field of science, medicine, and anything tangentially related is lying. Yeah, sure. And because I didn't realize this was a stupid troll by when someone's saying when you slander someone by calling them a moron, allowing your true colors to shine. Kenneth Proctor, Mr. Hovind died there. Hovind's the one who brings up moron 500 fucking times. Also, it's really irrelevant. Little sayings like that don't mean jack diddly shit. But it's just funny that you would want to do that when the kind of shit Hovind says at the regular, and he's supposed to be the good person. So whatever, fucktard.
So a car can hurt somebody, but doesn't mean cars are bad. It's who's driving. Okay, let's see. G. Can dragon wings fossilize, or do they hide the wings when they're found? I don't know. Wings of animals have been found fossilized. Wings of dragonflies have been found fossilized. I guess you're trying to give a hard time on that one. About the word dragons is found in the Bible quite a few times. I think it's talking about dinosaurs. Were there flying
Not the word you think.
dragons? Maybe so. Maybe they've not been found yet. A lot of stuff. They find new stuff all the time. So not worth fighting over. James, thank you for being dark from the sun. Maybe picture a new Christian's shame of past world. I agree. There's probably a lot of symbolism in here. That's why that Charles Spurgeon's preached, 60 or 80 sermons on the Song of Solomon. A lot of good wisdom in this book.
Are you pre-trib?
I used to be pre-trib, not anymore. We're raptured out after the tribulation. Just like it says in Matthew 24, when the sun and the moon go.
God damn it. It's muted again. Why does everyone ask him this shit? I don't know. It's probably his own damn audience, the same people sitting in there, hopping on accounts, and asking him these questions so he can go on and say the same crap over and over. Fuck, this stream has been going on too long.
Dark. Get my chart. This is a small version of the same chart behind me here. On the back is the verses from Daniel and then from Matthew, Mark, and Luke. In Matthew 24, the disciples said, Lord, when are you coming and what's the sign? Mark 13.
You'll know, Hovind. You'll know. You better swallow, too.
Lord, when are you
That was disgusting. I apologize.
coming and what's the sign? Luke 21, same thing. When are you coming? What's the sign? He describes the tribulation for the next 20 verses, including the green verses here, where it talks about the abomination of desolation when the temple is desolated. Then we go into the great tribulation.
Abomination of Desolation. Hello, album name.
And at the end down here, in Matthew 24 at least, verse 29, immediately after the tribulation of those days, shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light. And the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken, and then shall appear.
Yep, it's a good old-fashioned Yamato stream. 2 mutings, 1 stream.
The sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, when they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds. This is the rapture of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet. 1 Thessalonians 4 talks about that.
Yeah, exactly. Got that QR code up, Joseph. Tomorrow we'll give Simon Dan shit for having ads.
And they shall gather together his elect.
Hovind's just mad he can't get sponsorships. By the way, if you wish to sponsor me and have me shout out whatever crazy product you've got, I'm all for it. Hey, established titles, I heard you guys weren't doing so well. Need me to help boost you? I mean, $20 is $20.
The rapture comes after the tribulation. They asked him, when are you coming and what's the sign? He says, guys, I'm coming after the tribulation when the sun and the moon go dark. And the sun and the moon going dark is mentioned 10 times in the Bible. Right here, they're all on my chart here. You get these charts, what are they, $10, Joseph? Yeah, okay.
Okay, is it numerology for him to just sit there and bring up how many times something is said in the Bible? Or to play that game where it's like New Testament has this and this, and our Old Testament has this and this, and that means how many books there are in the New, and look, it all adds up. That's all just under the broad category of numerology, right? Because he's really tiring me with always saying that. Or this word is mentioned this many times in the Bible.
Yeah, or digital download, right? There's the day of Christ and then the day of the Lord. My book is on that topic, and the chart, and we did a video series. Whoa, what on earth is about to happen, where I go through it in great detail. If you want to get the Whoa series.
It's already right up there, you dumbass. We got it 3 times on the screen and the fucking QR code and that goddamn sample there, and then he's got another one there that he can hold up.
20 some hours of teaching.
Who keeps giving this fucker stuff to? How long has he had that dinosaur skull?
Anyway, I wish the pre-trib story was true. It was made up by a 15-year-old girl in Scotland who had a dream from eating too much pizza back in 1830. She started this whole pre-trib idea, and it's just
Running a Thanksgiving Day half marathon on Thursday in the Batman costume. Kick ass. Kick ass. Get some photos. I don't know how you'll post them to us, but I want to see.
just not true. I wish it was. I believed it. I taught it for 40 years. Not true. Sorry. Okay. Dr. Lord Rutherford paved the way for radiometric dating. He also
Yeah, I totally should have got in on that trumpet shenanigan, but I was too damn lazy, too cheap, too tired. End time shuffle going on for the last 1700 years has been nonsense the whole time. Say it again. Let's just say he must have a digital Bible with a word count function that he learned how to use it, so he must abuse it. Good point. Because, yeah, I mean, he uses eSword. He recommended that shit, and I downloaded it, and I'm like, yep, that's where Hovind gets his shit from.
split the atom. Does Dr. Hovind know more? I don't know what
Yo, so it's funny we bring up the whole Bruce Wayne Batman thing. There's actually a Eurobeat track from the '90s, literally titled "Batman is Bruce Wayne." I'm just like, okay. I mean, we all know it, but no one in the universe knows it. So I'm gonna guess in the Batman universe that song does not exist. Oh man. Um. Okay, so Evan Kutstanov, Lord Rufford paved the way for radiometric dating. He also split the atom. Do you know more? Yeah, this is the kind of stuff I'm going for. Like, does Kent Hovind really know more than the people who figured out how atomic science works? I don't think so.
I mean by that. Radiometric dating, they can very accurately measure how much C14 is in it. And they can very accurately measure how fast it decays. I'm not arguing that. I'm saying their assumption of what it started with is wrong. You don't know how much it had in it when it was alive. Their problem is, see, when they started radio dating, they realized, let me call up my slides on this, Joseph. This will be,
Oh, God, he's calling up the fucking slides.
second here.
My friend Ivan here, though, must have got under his skin.
Okay. Seminar part 7. Commonly asked questions. Okay, is it on this first page? Carbon dating. Yep, there we go. There's carbon and nitrogen next to each other on the periodic table. The sunlight produces carbon-14, cosmic rays from the sun. Most of them latch onto oxygen atoms and become CO2. Plants absorb CO2, that's what they breathe, okay? And make it part of their tissues. Animals eat the plants. C14 is unstable. It does not like.
Kent, no one fucking asked you about C14. They asked if you know more than the people who split the goddamned atom.
Like being C14 immediately begins to decay back to nitrogen as a gas and escapes, okay? Based on many tests, they figure it takes 5,730 years for half of it to decay, the decay rate. So is carbon dating reliable?
Ooh, snowstorm and wind gusts? Oh, I wish I had that coming on right now. That'd be nice. It's just cold and rainy miserable around here.
If you walked into a room and found the candle burning on the table, and I asked you the question, when was it lit? You said, I don't.
You would look for other candles. You would look for evidence of the source of the candle. You could probably tell roughly from the taper what length it probably was, the rate it's burning, etc. There's going to be a maximum limit too from the taper that it absolutely could have been. There's a lot of ways to actually measure likely how long it was. Plus, a lot of this stuff is pretty standard, so you can usually estimate that. That looks like a pretty normal candle, one that would fit quite well in the candlestick holder I have here. That's made of goddamned radioactive glass. Should I lick the radioactive glass? It's absolutely fine. Totally haven't done that before. Oh, I muted him. Good.
No. Well, let's do some science here.
Hovind muted instead of me.
Let's measure how tall it is. So we measure the candle and find out it's 7 inches tall. No argument. Does that tell me when it was lit? No. Okay. Let's measure how fast it burns. We measure very precisely, we test it over and over and over and find out it's burning 1 inch per hour. My question remains, when was it lit? Can you tell me from those two facts? It is 7 inches tall, it's burning an inch an hour. You can't tell me when it was lit unless you make some assumptions. How tall was it when it...
Yeah, actually, I can, Kent, because odds are it was about an hour ago, to 2 hours ago, based on the taper. I would say more towards the hour range. Yeah, we can tell, Kent. This candlesticks are usually about 10 inches. Yeah.
started? Was it a 12-inch candle or 2-mile candle? And has it always burned at the same rate?
I don't know, Kent. There's no 2-mile candles that I've ever seen, so I'm probably going to have to assume the smaller amount. In addition to the fact that there would be a monstrous amount of unburnt wax hanging out around the base.
Great. You cannot know those. Radiometric dating would not have been feasible if the geologic column had not been erected first. Ooh, important statement there. Fossils and still
Also,
have been and still are the best.
God damn it. Also, good point, Mipelson. Candles were sized to have specific burn rate, and most were 1 hour. Very good point. So even his own thing, I was just given, in context, like just running in his universe, his ideas for that. Yeah, even his thing at an inch an hour is crazy slow.
And most accurate method of dating and correlating rocks in which they occur. Apart from very modern examples, which really is archaeology, I can think of no cases of radioactive decay being used to date fossils. Earth's atmosphere is about 300 miles thick. Most of it's within 10 miles. Earth's atmosphere contains 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, very little carbon dioxide, and a very, very little radioactive carbon dioxide. Right. Plants are constantly absorbing this into their tissue. They don't care if it's radioactive or not. Radiation from the sun strikes the atmosphere.
Kent, can you explain why it doesn't matter? Because you say the plants don't care. The plants wouldn't know. I can't say any more without just giving it away, so I'll just give it away. Because radioactive isotopes are chemically identical to the non-radioactive isotope, because the proton and electron counts are going to be the same. And that combined with the size of the proton, the size of the nucleus proper, and the particular arrangement of the protons in it, create the chemical properties that it actually has. It isn't just about valence electrons, how many shells, what have you. It also depends on the particular shape of the electron cloud. Chemistry is fucking wild like that, and I rather love it from a conceptual standpoint. God help me doing the math, though. Throwing a few neutrons in there usually doesn't change things up to any appreciable amount. So what you get is a slightly heavier, slightly unstable and balanced energy-wise version of the atom, but chemically, it is identical to any other isotope. Getting uranium-235 from 238, enriching that, getting more of the easily fissile 235 to build to build the uranium gun type weapon used at Hiroshima, because plutonium, using breeding reactors from uranium to plutonium, plutonium was used in your normal implosion devices like the Trinity test and the bombing of Nagasaki. To get the uranium for the Hiroshima little boy bomb, they had to use cyclotrons, use uranium fluoride, bond uranium with fucking fluorine, the most insane stuff out there. Look up fluorine; it is fucking mental. How much it begs to bond with stuff. and then spin that shit. And the 235 being that slight bit lighter, they were able to separate the 238, which spread out further. They spun it till they could separate it. Centrifuge, straight up. Bit more complicated than just saying it like that, but yeah, Kent, that's kind of the thing. That's why the plants, quote unquote, don't care, and why we don't care, and why this stuff it becomes used in our body. Luckily, it decays in a less volatile way than my aforementioned tritium, and at a way slower rate. 5,000 years is a lot better of a half-life than 12. But perhaps I'm speaking over your head, Hovind. I don't know.
Atmosphere produces radioactive C14.
Sorry, y'all can tell I really love talking about atomic physics, especially right now. I'm in a bit of a phase with that.
Combines with oxygen. Willard Libby, back in 1955, started working on this kind of stuff. Carbon-14 process. They say about 21 pounds of nitrogen are converted to C14 per year. This is over the entire atmosphere, over the whole world. The sun is producing about 21 pounds spread out over the whole world. There it is, right there. Okay. Carbon and nitrogen. Okay. Radioactive carbon-14 can be detected with a Geiger counter. Being produced in the atmosphere by the sun, it breaks down.
Yeah, the decay chain from like uranium to lead involves many, many different steps. And of course, there's the interesting thing of the thorium cycle, where thorium, under the right conditions, the resulting products can actually be bred into more fuel. Contrary to what people say, it's not an endless fuel cycle. You eventually will have converted everything you can and extracted all the energy you can from the available materials. But breeder reactors are fascinating in how efficiently they can burn through the material thoroughly. Because a lot of fissile material does not get used in typical fission systems. There's also, fast neutron reactors that are engineered in such a way where you just throw whatever radioactive waste you can in there, all the, short-lived products, your cesiums, and you're like all the stuff you don't want to be around, stuff with 10, 20, 30-year half-lives, and just let it go to town, and it takes care of itself, and you're left with a far more manageable fission byproducts. But again, that's a whole other discussion to have down the line.
To nitrogen, half of it's gone every 5,730 years. No question about that. During photosynthesis, the plants take it in. It becomes part of their plant root or fruit.
Firmament was made of magnetic water. Ice becomes super magnetic when it's cold. It's like, no, it doesn't. You're just wrong, Kent. So I'm going to presume it was normal water. Maybe it was heavy water. Maybe it was light water, which actually would be normal water, to contrast with heavy. Maybe it was super light water. I don't know. I'm Kent Hovind.
Root or leaf or root, whatever. Okay. Now, animals eat the plants, make it part of their body. There you go. So it's assumed the ratio.
I show on some random diagrams of plants because they have nothing to do with anything, but they make it look like I know what I'm talking about. Hovind.
Of radioactive C14 to normal carbon-12 in the atmosphere is the same in plants and animals today. For instance, if the atmosphere is 0.0000765%, they assume it's the same in all the animals. I don't even argue about that. Probably is. When the plant or animal.
And yeah, there you go right there when I talk about fluorine. From Blood of the Core 2050. Fluorine can force noble gases to bond with it. It's insane. Fucking helium, xenon, argon. Fuck you, we're bonding. I don't want a chemical bond. Well, it's happening.
Dies, it stops taking in anymore. So by comparing the amount of C14 in the object they're dating with the amount currently in the atmosphere, and there's the problem. It can be estimated how long it's been dead. If it only has half as much as the air today, they say it's been dead 5,730 years. So it can't get any more. It goes out of balance. You'd have, if it's giving you 0.0000765, you say, well, it just recently died because that's how much is in the air today. If you get half that much, you give it 1 half-life, 2 half-lives, 3 half-lives, etc. Okay. So it goes from a half to a fourth to an eighth to a 16th. So,
Hey. Contrary to popular rumors, we all know that Gavin can't count to 3. So we only get 1 half-life, 2 half-life, and then we get multiple parts to the second half-life, and then we get Half-Life Alex. I ain't gonna say anything about it because I never played it. But no Half-Life, no third Half-Life, man. We're not getting that. All right.
if you're only getting 8 clicks per minute,
Just like we're not getting a Portal 3, God damn it.
you call it 1 half-life. If you're only getting 4 clicks per minute, 2 half-lives, 2 clicks per minute, 3 half-lives, etc. With their short 5,700-year half-life, no carbon-14 atom should exist in any carbon older than 250,000 years. Should be gone. It is proven impossible to find any natural source of carbon that does not contain significant amounts of C14.
Yeah, very, very weakly to magnetic fields.
That means everything they're testing is less than 250,000 years old. I agree. Less than 5,000 years old. They've been unable to account for it. Let's see, the world's best laboratories. You can read about all this. ICR.org, Institute for Recreation Research.
Yeah, I'm going to trust ICR.
Great articles on that. Okay.
What was it our dumbass Hovind earlier was talking about? Man, institutions would never lie or whatever. It's like, there's a man institution right there. You don't know, man. I mean, you saying they're not? You trying to say they're lying? Because it seems like your Hovind boy pretty loves them.
Here's some assumptions. If I told you to fill a barrel with water, but I've drilled holes,
and he does it again, the same thing as the candle
on the other side. As you're putting water in, eventually you reach a place called equilibrium. You can't fill it past that spot because it's leaking as fast as you're putting it in. This is like your checkbook, okay? They assume carbon-14 has reached
don't you tell me how fast I can fill something with water. And in a previous life, I was lookout on the Titanic. All right. Yeah, it took 2 hours, 40 minutes for it to sink, but damn it, I filled it with water. But you go check, it's still filled with water today. You know, the pool on Titanic still works.
Equilibrium. When they first did testing, they said, well, it would take about 30,000 years for the atmosphere to reach equilibrium. They're now discovering we've still not reached equilibrium. If we still haven't reached equilibrium, then you can't carbon date anything because you'd have to know when it lived.
Claims of conspiracy. Also, Kent, even if you were somehow able to debunk carbon dating, welcome to all the other radiometric datings that are not radiometric dating methods that are not carbon based.
To figure out when it lived. Are there flaws in carbon dating? I got a whole bunch of stuff on this. I don't want to take all night on that one.
That doesn't make it true, Kent.
Radiocarbon dating, a closer look at its main flaws. Cosmic rays, let's see, where's the date thing, archaeological dating tool is wrong. I don't want to spend a whole
I've just got random crap on it, and you know, that automatically makes it true.
Series on this. So they say, well, we know the Earth is millions of years old. We can ignore the equilibrium problem. We've still not reached equilibrium. Radiocarbon is forming 27.
We don't use carbon dating to measure the age of the Earth, you fucking moron. Also, I love that, a source that is as old as me.
28 to 37% faster than it's decaying. Well, if we still haven't reached equilibrium, you can't date things with it because you don't know how much was in it. It doesn't work. At times, production rate will exceed the decay rate. Wow. Okay. Again, the candle illustration. So I'm sorry. The amount of carbon-14 can be measured very accurately, and the rate of decay can be determined very accurately. But that's all. How much was in it when it died? You don't know.
Titanic was sunk by a magnetic iceberg. Yes. It was a secret Nazi weapon from World War II being tested pre-World War I. Magnetic icebergs to take out British shipping. The problem is it worked too well. And they lost the secrets to time travel, so they couldn't implement it full scale in the war.
Has it always decayed at the same rate? You don't know. A canopy overhead over the crystal canopy above the atmosphere would block UV light and mess up the whole thing. errors or
And
anything?
yes, Lego Dimensions did have a Portal expansion to it. Those sets were already uncommon when they were new. The whole stuff, I think, is quite expensive for a collector's market because you need the bits, and it's a mess. I could be wrong on the way the market is and what you need to be able to play, but yeah.
Here in carbon dating, I got all kinds of articles about that. Science. Okay. Let's see. Bad dates are very common. Mollusk shells
Bad dates, they're very common.
dated. Living mollusk shells were 2,300 years old.
Yeah, you wouldn't. You, you're gonna get a value that's outside of the range, so the system's gonna automatically attribute something to it. It's not gonna be in spec. Dumbass. Also, 1963. Kent, you were 10.
They're still alive. That was in 1963. See if it gets better here. 1970. If a carbon date supports our theories, we put it in the main text. If it doesn't entirely contradict it, we put in a footnote. If it's out of date, we just drop it.
I need to look into that and see the context of it. Because, of course, your typical creationist quote mine.
They pick and choose which ones they want to publish. Freshly killed seal, carbon dated 1,300 years old.
Once again, you're not going to carbon date something that was recent. It's going to be a known aged remain. And by known aged, I mean you're going to know it's not something recent, because otherwise you're literally asking for a method to be used on a sample that it is not fit for.
1971. Well, it's not getting.
Let's use an industrial truck scale to weigh one of my pet rats. Let's see what we get. Just head over across the bridge to West Memphis and hit the weigh station.
Better. Yeah, okay. All right, I don't take all night on it. A couple more questions, Joseph, and we'll quit. Yes, sir. You think that plastic and the oil field are killing our world? No. Electric, how are they going to produce the electricity? By burning coal or something like that. Plastic.
Nuclear power, you fucking moron. Have you ever heard of nuclear? Nuclear! Let's also not ignore hydroelectric, solar for where it can be beneficial, although using a mirror array to heat up a tank of salts to molten, that is really efficient solar use. Use the thermal power rather than just photovoltaic effects. That shit's fucking awesome. What else? Geothermal. I'm not talking, gas stuff like Memphis has switched to. I was sad. I discovered I was double checking some images of South Memphis by the river, south of downtown, and I saw XAI's big ass facility. Saw the new gas turbine plant. Well, new. It's like maybe 10 years old. And then I saw they had tore down Allen Fossil completely. The whole facility's gone. I'm like, man, that building was cool. I wanted to get a tour of it or something. I knew it had shut down, but I thought, they were going to repurpose it in some way. Nope. Whole damn thing's gone. So I'm like, that sucks. Is what it is. The gas turbines are more efficient, far less polluting, but rest in peace, Allen Fossil. You were a great contribution to TVA for the time you were worthwhile to have an operation. Coal is fucking horrible, but But yeah, Kent, we have plenty of ways to power the world that don't involve destroying it.
Is really it's an oil product. I mean, it burns fine.
He's not talking about using oils or using plastics to burn. He's talking about the plastic waste. But why would anyone ask anything even remotely environmental to somebody who thinks the world is literally a garbage dump and begs for death every day?
Would the melted wax give an idea how tall the candle probably was? Maybe. It'd be tough to tell for sure because so much of it would vaporize and,
Yeah, and we can estimate a probable ratio of vaporization of what actually would burn with the wick versus what would survive. I think that can be a relatively rough estimate going. So yeah, Kent, we could also use that as a value to measure.
You can do some testing on it. But proving my illustration wrong does not mean the carbon dating works, okay?
Trojan source, thank you.
Okay, that's it. Thank you. Tomorrow night, Song of Solomon, chapter 2. Try to knock this whole little short book. Some good stuff in there. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Fuck off, Kent. Actually, it's what, 6:30 right now Central, so he's going live in about 30 minutes. All right, close his window. Hey, I closed the right window for once. Good job. All right, end up giving most of my Lego Dimension figures to neighbors' grandkids. Keep the scam base because some other games can use them for other things like Ultra Kaiju Monster Rancher. Cool. Did not know that. I've got a small collection of figures actually. I was rather like the games. They're kind of boring to play. Not as boring as the Lego games. Oh my god, I tried playing Lego Star Wars and I'm like, this never ends. Just let me progress. Plastic is killing the planet because we won't dispose of or recycle it properly. Indeed, Laura. Thorium to power fusion research would be nice. Um, well, yeah, I mean, we would use thorium cycles fission systems to get the power necessary to do fusion, to provide the multiple hundreds of kilovolts needed for tokamaks and the like to begin doing their thing. Um, when I say I've been deep diving into nuclear science specifically for power generation and one sci-fi element, we're capturing neutrons for energy here, people. Like directly, it's kind of awesome for the story. Um, I have been all in this shit to a point where I went from thinking fusion was a joke to actually understanding and being like, no, no, no. I mean, I knew the math works, but the practicality. And I'm like, wait, now I think this actually could be done. I think we've got everything right. We've just got to build it the right way. The ideas are there. We've just got to actually try it and make it work, as they're trying to do with ITER and some other things. But even then, I don't think fission is going anywhere. Fucking love nuclear fission. That's the splitting of heavy isotopes, fusion being the fusing of smaller isotopes, for those who don't recall. Fusion is what the star does, fission is what your typical nuclear plant does. Yeah, still 100% for fission and fusion. When we get it, that'll just make things even better. Multiple sources, multiple combined factors will be good. Costa Rica's hit 100% sustainable energy production. That is fucking amazing. Hell yeah, Costa Rica. So plays like Gotham, Springfield, Middle Earth, Ghostbusters, and Lego games. That's always fun. Texas is the most renewable energy investment in any state because it's cheaper than carbon sources now. Don't let the Texans know that. They'll revolt. Math too hard for Kent, so it's impossible. Laura, don't worry. You can always go back and watch the stream. How many chapters in Song of Solomon? Everything he does is going to be demented. Yeah. Song of Silly Man. 5 or 6, not very long. 8 chapters, okay. Thorium reactors can be made shockingly small. Yeah. Fast breeders and the like, molten salt systems, pebble bed. Pebble bed usually end up being bigger, like gas cooled systems. I mean, you can make reasonably efficient micro-sized reactors, but the molten salt types that are going to be that work well as thorium breeders, oh yeah, that's a sweet spot. Sweet spot. Maybe we'll do a thing on nuclear power down the line. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to add at the moment. As always, much love to everyone. I'm gonna hop off here, play some Guild Wars, and get ready for tomorrow. Gotta to go to work. Then comes Thanksgiving. I will probably stream on Thanksgiving. I'll probably do a lot of stuff on Thanksgiving because I don't care about the holiday. And then I work Friday and actually Saturday, of course, Black Friday. So I work in retail. Pray for Mojo. I don't know. And Simpsons reference, if you know, you know. Well, I guess now that I referenced it. And then, yeah, I got to deal with Saturday. So that's going to be fun. But yeah, that being that, I'm out of here. Catch